Hi there, this is a demonstration of the ADR vocal stressor. This is from, I believe, either 1970s or possibly early 80s. And it's a very complicated bit of kit, and I must confess I'm a musician first rather than a recording engineer, so please bear with me while I try and fathom my way through this bit of kit, because it is very, very complicated. But what I do know is that the unit has two components. On this side is an equalization component, and on this side is a complex limiter component. On the back of the unit you've got separate ins and outs, so you can run this separately or you can run that separately. So you can run things in separately without them affecting each other, or you can, if you just run it through the system in and out, it already puts all this in line, and then you just choose whether you have the EQ in the system. You do that by switching it in, or if you have the complex limiter in the system, you can do that by switching it in here. You've got the level to the EQ, and you've got the input level to the complex. Then here you've got a choice of where you place the equalizer. You can put it, if you put it in pre, that goes into the equalizer first and then goes into the complex. If you put it post, the equalizer happens after the complex, and then you've got a side chain option, which I guess is for things like de-essing or gating drums or whatever, but all that is a little bit beyond my skill set, so I won't be able to show you how to use that. But what I will do is I'll run a drum loop, just so that you can have a rough idea of how the EQ can affect the drum loop, and how the complex limiter can affect it. As I say, it's very complicated. You've got a compressor, which you control here with the release threshold and the compression ratio, and these are the various attack times for the compressor. You've got a choice of either a limiter on and off. I don't know what this means, on or pre-emphasis or something. That again is beyond me. Where the limiter happens, and then you've got an expander. The expander is off in the middle. It's on over there, and it becomes a gate on the right. And then you've got your expander attack times. The expander is controlled up here by the threshold, the release, and the range. If you switch in the limiter, this also controls how much it expands or limits, and this gets demonstrated by the expander starts flashing when it's working on the signal, and the limiter flashes on and off when that is working on the signal. So okay, well look, I'm going to run a drum loop, so you'll get an idea. The drum loop is already running, but you won't hear it because it's not going through here yet, but it'll come in now. Oh, I haven't got drum loop switched on. There you go. So this is the EQ first. So there you go. I hope that gives you some idea of what it does and the fact that it all works fine. As you as you hopefully could hear, every time I changed something, the settings changed, and there weren't any majorly scrunchy pots or anything that sounded like it was malfunctioning. So I believe it's been kept in a fairly good order in the time it's been alive. I know it was originally supplied by Funky Junk to a friend of mine, his recording studio, but when he closed his recording studio down, I purchased it off him about 10 years ago, maybe longer, and I was planning to use it with my recording studio with Logic and off the sound card, but to be perfectly honest, I just always found it too complicated, and I've ended up doing everything in the box. So I've never actually used any of my rack outboard. So yeah, it's basically been sitting there in dry dock for most of the last 10 years, and it still sounds great, and I'm sure in the right hands it could do some amazing stuff with audio. Sadly, that's not my hands, but thanks for listening, and hopefully you found this informative. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.